It's unusual that we would have a guest who would come to visit us all the way from the Philippines, but that's what's happened today, Kim.
We have Mark Morris from Samaritan's Place, and you probably know his dad, Max Morris, a legend around Cleveland. And Mark is doing some great work in the Philippines. We'd like for you to tell us a little bit about Samaritan's Place, Mark.
Well, thanks, Kim, and thanks, Dan. Great to be with
Good
you
to
this
see you.
morning, and it's great to be home for the holidays.
Oh,
Yeah.
Came in late December and got to be here to experience this wonderful cold weather that you just talked about.
Yeah. You're not used to
Bit of
this in the
snow.
Philippines, are you?
Yeah, no, it's hot year-round over
Is it
there,
really?
so we came in, got cooled off, and had my first white Christmas
Wasn't that nice?
in my 50 attempts.
Wow.
Really?
So it was
Very
a
first
special
one.
treat for me. Of course, I'm not eager about potential snow on Monday because
No.
we head back to Manila
Going back home.
Right.
on Monday, but it's been a treat to be home, and
Yeah.
of course, it's been a joy to be working in Manila,
I'm
in the
sure.
Philippines for this is our 24th year
24. Wow.
that we've been serving there, and we wear many hats
Uh-huh.
in ministry over there. But of course, our one of our main passions and privileges is operating Samaritan's Place, which is an orphanage. It is a licensed, accredited orphanage in the Philippines, and providing residential care as well as adoption placements.
Okay.
And so have the joy of helping these children find families and be in families, which we think is what God intended for
Yeah.
every child.
Mark, you're a local product, I believe. Grew up here in
Well,
Cleveland.
Tennessee boy,
yeah,
was born in
Tennessee.
Nashville, but
Yeah.
really grew up and lived here in Cleveland most of my
Yeah, of course, your parents
childhood.
still live here, and
Yes.
Your dad is very involved locally, has his own ministry here.
Yes.
People call him the town's pastor. I think
Yeah, I
that's
think that's a
probably an
good
apt
description for
guy.
Dad, absolutely.
But I'm curious, 24 years ago, what prompted you to say, well, I think I'll go to the Philippines?
Well, actually, when I first went to Lee University, I got involved in doing some short-term missions.
Okay.
And so started traveling with young groups to do short-term mission work. And I had been to Asia before, but never been to the Philippines. And then when I was graduating from the Pentecostal Theological Seminary, at that time the Church of God Theological Seminary, I was commissioned to go there for my internship in Manila. And so then went there, did my research, and then I got appointed back to go serve with short-term missions to facilitate it.
I
So our
see.
ministry has been very much around facilitation, administration to helping ministry over there.
Yeah, and so
That's great.
now you have a very vibrant ministry there, just outside Manila, is that correct?
Yes, Samaritan's Place is located about 30 miles south of Manila in a beautiful area called Silang, which is a little mountainous area. And of course, Manila is a huge city. I think the recent statistics show there's about 12 to 14 million people in Manila alone.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, it's a few more than we have here
Yeah.
in Tennessee, actually.
There's some countries that aren't that big.
Exactly. So Manila's huge. So we went outside of Manila, where it's a little more like home, and we wanted the children to grow up in a very normal home environment, so that they could have that experience. It's better for children to grow up there. So
How did these children come to you, Mark? How do you end up
Yeah.
taking care of them and adopting them out? And
Well, we are licensed and accredited with the Philippine government, their social welfare department. And so we do provide the family style operation. We are in a subdivision with 2 beautiful duplexes, and each home functions as a home. And so because we're structured that way, DSWD, Department of Social Welfare, they know what we do, and so they refer all the children to us. So
Okay.
they are actually assigned to us by the government to be in our homes. And then, of course, the children that they do assign to us are children that are up for placement.
I
okay.
see.
So we're not a temporary shelter, but these are children that we are their last resort before having a permanent family.
They're up for adoption.
They're up for adoption.
Okay.
right.
Is that quite common in the Philippines, Philippine children being adopted outside the country?
It has been a growing process, and last year I think there was around 600 international placements, and there's some in country, but of course the Philippines is a developing nation,
Right.
and so therefore placements in country are not as high as we would want them to be, but that's a growing process as well. So a lot of the children are basically being internationally adopted. And of course, we have a wonderful partner agency here in East Tennessee, which is Holston Homes.
Oh, yeah.
Which is out of Greenville. They're our partner agency.
Okay.
And through them, we try to work with families here in East Tennessee. I think we have around 12 to 15 families on our roster that we're helping right now to be matched with a child out of the Philippines. And
Are
of course,
these children different ages?
they are. The children are, the youngest we've had placed was 9 months, but usually they're about a year old. And then, of course, they go up to even up to 16 years of age.
Yeah.
So anywhere in that span of age, we work with them.
How old are the children that are in the facility where you are? What's the age limit for the children that you minister to there in the orphanage?
At the orphanage, our eldest one right now is 15 years of age, and our youngest is about just turned 1 year of age.
Oh.
But we have an infant unit, and so we get called quite regularly.
So from infants to teenagers.
Infants to teenagers, yes.
Wow, that's got to be a challenge.
Well, it's a joy, and they're wonderful. I tell you, these kids, we've had several people from Cleveland come over to visit, and of course we have a wonderful board here. Particularly, I'll mention Kent Berry, who is a good friend of you guys and a developer here, and he and his wife have been over many times, and he would agree that these children, they just get into your heart.
They get into your heart,
They
don't
really
they?
do. They're so special. They're great.
Philippine people have always struck me as being very warm, loving people. And I love the country. I've never been there, but I've read a lot about it, seen a lot of videos and pictures about the Philippines. But it's become like a second home to you, hasn't it?
Oh, it really has, and like you said, they're wonderful people. Of course, my beautiful wife of 22 years, she's from the Philippines.
Is she really? Oh,
And,
that's great.
So, yeah, we're blessed.
So you both work together?
We sure do. Actually, she's the chief operating officer
Okay.
for the homes, and so she's into the real
Day-to-day.
helping the management, hands-on
Mm-hmm.
details,
Day-to-day.
and does a great job. And she does a lot of our media. She does our website, which is SamaritansPlace.com. So if people are
Probably
interested,
a lot of information on your website, I'm sure.
absolutely. Of course, they get to see the kids and the homes, the beautiful place that we have there for them, as well as information that they might could use.
I've been on that website, and it's a good website, and you get to see a lot of the children there that you're ministering to, and you need to check it out. Samaritan's Place. Did you say .com or
.com? Yes.
.com. Samaritan's Place.com, and it's in just outside Manila, Philippines. It'll be quite a revelation to you. How many total children do you have in the facility that you?
Right now we have 27, and of course we operate in the family style unit, so we max out at 10 children per family unit, so that they can really function as a nuclear family.
Right.
And so right now there's 27 in our 3 homes.
So it gives them a stable environment, and it probably is very much like just a home environment.
It really is. My grandmother was an orphan, my mom's mom.
Really?
And before we ever started, we interviewed her, and at the time she was 80 years of age. She's passed on. She was 88 when she passed. But before we started, she said, whatever you do, make it where they have a real father and mother figure. And
That's important,
It
isn't
really
it?
is important. And so they function as a family in each of our home units. And it's a great thing to see these children become children again. Many of them, of course, you know, you can talk about where they come from.
Right.
Very difficult circumstances, basically trying to survive.
Yeah.
But then they get in these homes and then they flourish. It's a joy.
Great. What would someone do if they wanted to check into adopting one of your children?
Okay, probably for East Tennessee, one of the quickest ways would be to check with our partner agency, Holston Homes. They've got a website as well, and then out of Knoxville and Greenville.
Is that Holston?
Yes,
Holston?
sir. Holston
Holston.
Homes.
Just Google Holston Homes in Tennessee, and you'll find them.
Yeah, so contacting them, or if they wanted to get onto our website and email us as well, then we can help start to facilitate their being connected for the information.
Great.
How long does the process take normally, Mark?
Typically right now it's anywhere from 24 months to 36 months. Once a family has completed their home study and all that process and filed that with the Philippine government.
Now, Mark, you brought this. What have we got here?
Well, I thought this would be an interesting little item. Of course, the Philippines is a beautiful, wonderful country, and this is one of the things you would see if you came to visit us. We have jeepneys as public transportation.
Oh, yeah?
And so they're a mode of public transportation as well as art.
Colorful.
Very colorful and a lot of fun. And you just hop on the back and you pay about 25 cents in American dollars, but it's about 10 pesos.
10 pesos.
And so therefore you get on, and they have certain routes that they go, and so you just ride
That's
that
their
through
mass
town.
transit authority.
That's
huh?
one of our mass transit authorities, yes.
So it's
It's
kinda
a
like-
neat little vehicle.
That
Kind of
is
like our
cute.
Sethra, but they can go with the open vehicles. We can't do that here, but the weather there allows you to use
Yes.
the open vehicle.
Exactly, exactly.
What is the average weather like there? Is it hot? Or do they have a cooler season at all?
We have two seasons, hot and hotter. That's what we say. And but anyway, yeah, it's a subtropical, so basically it's in the 80s and 90s most of the year. Our winter weather, it may drop into the low 70s, and the evenings are upper 60s. So it's actually quite a pleasant
Yeah, it sounds
environment.
like it.
And of course, people who want to do mission work this time of year with all this
It's a
snow,
great
it's a great time to go.
Yeah, that's right.
To help.
The pictures I've seen looks like there's a lot of jungles there. Is it a lot of tropical rainforests?
There are, of course, there's 7,100 islands in the Philippines, and I think there's only 400 that are inhabited.
Oh, I see.
So there are a lot of tropical island, jungle
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
areas in the Philippines.
Is the, of course, Philippines through the years, dating back to the 60s, has been in the news, international news.
Yeah.
Some of it good, some of it not so good. But is the political situation there pretty stable at this point?
It has become more stable over the years. Of course, as the economy is developing, that helps a lot. Information technology, people have access to that.
Sure.
And so it has stabilized over the last few years, and they have a new president who is the son of a former president. His name is Nonoy Aquino.
Okay.
And so things are stable right now. We're very
Good.
grateful for that.
That's
Good.
good. That's good. Well, you guys do a great work, and
They really do.
I've always enjoyed knowing Mark. We got acquainted a few years ago, and I think it was at the Rotary Club. You came with your father, I believe, as a guest. I'm not
Right.
sure, but
Yes.
we've been acquainted for a while, and have always admired the work you do.
Well, thank you so
Helping
much.
these
We
young
appreciate
kids.
you guys, and appreciate so many people in Cleveland, and Rotary Club in particular
Yeah.
have helped sponsor some things.
Right.
We
Yeah, they
deeply
have.
appreciate the support, and of course, we're thrilled when families here get a chance to adopt a child from the Philippines. So,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
bridging
they
that
need to call
gap.
Holston.
Holston Homes, they could call
Home.
them, or they could go on our
Google 'em.
website,
Okay.
and we can help them get
Great.
connected.
And that website again
A lot of
is
children wanting a home.
Yes, there are.
Samaritans,
Samaritan's Place.
all one word,
.com.
Samaritans. You don't have to put an apostrophe after the
No,
S.
sir, you don't.
Just SamaritansPlace.com. Check it out. I hope you will. It's a great ministry, and Mark's very deeply involved, and we're glad to have you on the show today.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you for
Morris.
having me. Thanks so much.
And wish you the best as you travel back home.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mark Morris. 7:15 is the time, and we'll be back in just a moment to talk about New Year's resolutions. That'll be fun.